What's up, everybody? This is the Palmer Squares.
And you're listening to the Average AF podcast.
This is Dan Cummins, and you're listening to the Average as Fuck podcast.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Catalyst Bars, and you're listening to the Average AF podcast. Let's get it.
What's up, guys? This is episode 49 of the Average AF podcast.
Oh, shit. The 49th time?
Yep, I am here with Steve, as always.
You know.
I'm going to have to not say that here in a couple weeks. That's a bummer.
Oh.
But yeah, we're just doing another, I keep wanting to say a solo episode. It's not a fucking.
So it's a duet.
Okay, yeah, a duet. That's weird.
Right.
A duo is okay. A duet is kind of strange. Are we singing?
Do you have to be singing for it to be a duet? Is that the definition of duet?
I think so.
Okay.
Well,
that's only
some
term
type
I
of
hear
music, anyway.
All right. I can make music while we.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
No.
Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us for episode 49. This is probably going to be the last duet episode of me and Steve, so gonna be a little different. We're just gonna kind of do some self-reflecting and kind of discuss the situation and where we go from here and what Steve's up to, and just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, man. Talk about my week first. I do want to talk about something that I don't know if you experienced or it's just me.
Well, here, let's cheers real quick to the last duet episode.
Hey, drinking that Bud Wise.
Yep. No Bud Light. Bud Light's for bitches.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. So you want to talk about your week a little bit. It was just Father's Day, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, my youngest son. Damn, my youngest son. Made me a handmade card and put "I love you" on there and "you're the best daddy ever," which know I'm not LeBron or anything, but I'll take it.
Harper actually made me one of those too. At daycare and stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, and then my oldest, he knows my weakness is fucking Reese cups. So he got me a 5-pack of Reese cups.
Nice.
He could do that for the rest of his life.
Right.
The rest of my life.
That's all
hopefully.
Daddy needs.
Yo, he's gonna get a smile out of me every time.
Nice.
So that was nice. They had me come over after work. It was late, so they stayed up for me, and they were really excited to give me the 2 things they got me.
Nice.
But so this whole last week plus, probably last 10 days, I go through this though. I go through these cycles, man, where I just don't want to do nothing. Yeah. And let me describe what nothing. I'm talking about. Like, I wake up. I don't want to take a shower. I don't want to brush my teeth.
Right.
I don't want to cook. I don't want to clean. But it will last for like several days, to where like I just don't have that normal drive, that normal gusto to get up and kind of just seize the day, kind of.
Right.
I don't know what it is, man. I go through that, and it's frustrating at times. But then other times I'm like,
it's healthy.
Whatever.
I
think so?
I take a different approach to it. So I saw something, I think it was on Facebook or Instagram or something, and it was like the problem. It's kind of off topic, but on topic. Like, they're like, the problem. This was a guy. The problem with being in a relationship is like women don't understand like a day off, like a day of nothing.
Yeah.
Like, they just say, okay, we got a free day, so let's do this and this and this.
Right.
It's like, no, man. Like, I want to do nothing.
Right.
Just for a day.
Right.
So I get it as like a lazy person, but but I mean, you know me too. I try to do something all the time for the most part.
Yeah.
Kind of stay engaged. But
Right. Kind of progress forward on something.
be somewhat productive in some way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but then I'm talking like I had to go grocery shopping. I was wearing the same fucking pair of gym shorts and t-shirt for like going on 3 days. And I got up and I was like, damn, I gotta go to the store. And my clothes look clean, but I should probably change. It was like a fucking bum right now, but I don't want to do it.
Right.
You know, and I was like, I had to force myself to put these.
That's when you order a pizza.
But I did that like 2 days in a row. And I was like,
Right.
Steve, you spending money that you really don't have,
Right.
because you too lazy to cook the food that's in your goddamn freezer. So
See, I just don't keep food in my fridge, so
So
that's
you
the
have the
only
ultimate-
option. Because it's midnight. The only thing open happens to be Taco Bell. Dude, I went Friday night. I went to Applebee's and ordered takeout, right? Guess what time I got there to, like, pick it up?
is it night?
Yeah.
They're open till like 11 only, or midnight. They're open
Right.
to midnight.
I walked in at 11:15 and picked up my big-ass meal that I ordered and
Yeah.
a dessert and
Wow.
shit like that. I'm like, I'm going to order a meal for takeout rather than,
Right.
going to get a frozen pizza or, like, something simple.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
fuck it. It's 11. Like,
Yeah.
let's just do it.
Yeah, man. It's a horrible
It's
habit
a
of
problem.
mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I try to do little things to get myself out of that. I call it a rut, man. Like where I just don't want to. I'm not like I went part-time at work,
Right.
so it was like, okay, so the extra time that I have, I'm supposed to be working on my music or something that I claimed I didn't have time to do otherwise. But then I was sitting there on my fucking couch like, dude, you're not doing any of this shit you said you were going to do when you went, you know what I mean? And it's like, it was half frustrating. But then I also have the mindset of, you know what, dude, you got one life.
Right.
Like, I'll be damned if I have, if I'm uptight all the time, trying to constantly grind towards, and I don't know if that's a winner's mindset or not. You hear all these people on TV and these documentaries you watch, The Last Dance. You watch that, you never think
Right.
MJ ever took a fucking day off. Like even if he didn't have to, he was doing what he loved to do. And I could have done that, but I was just like, nah, I'm not really feeling it today.
I don't know, man. Like I'm kind of on the fence about it because like, so Gary V,
Yeah.
work
That's
all the
what
time.
it seems
Right.
like.
He's admitted, not that it's an admittance, but he's said like multiple times, at least over the last couple of years, that he takes the weekends off.
Oh.
And he hangs out with his family now that he's in a position that he can and stuff like that. And
But when he was grinding, though, you hear them stories about, oh, dude, I never went out. I done
Right.
buy shit for myself. I saved money. I did this. I did
And-
that for 10 fucking years, and now look where I'm at, and now I can afford to do that.
right.
So does that mean you're wrong for?
Well, I think there's some realism there because like it would be cool, but I'm not trying to be, a multi-millionaire per se. Like that would be
Right.
dope.
Right.
I don't need that.
Right.
Like so taking a day off and now I only make a $500,000, like
Right. So I guess it depends on what your end goals are,
Right.
or how hard you need to go.
and
That makes sense.
and not I mean, I don't know. I'm a firm believer in I guess kind of like wind down time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people, especially like, so when I did the furlough for work, where I
Yeah.
got laid off for a week, I was like, all right, I'm going to take a couple days off and then I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And I did 0 because like, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm going to enjoy this time off. It was kind of cool because I am kind of a workaholic.
Yeah.
But they said IT, which it's a big company, so I believe them. Usually you would call bullshit on this, but they said IT will know if you log into your computer and stuff like that. Like you have to be completely away from everything. You can't answer phone calls or anything like that. Like nothing. And I'm like, that kind of stresses me out
Right.
because I got kind of important accounts and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, fuck. And then like I got my first phone call and it was like Monday at like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck that. Like, and I kind of like automatically like felt weight off my shoulder. Like, I don't have to answer this.
Right.
Fuck yeah. Like, and it was cool. So I don't know. It was good for me to take a step back. And I think everybody needs that, especially if you cut back hours, if you take a mini vacation. Like, I think we've talked about it too, like our PTO. Generally, I don't take a week off. Like, that's
Right.
weird for me. But I'll take a day or two off every month or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
And that just little bit helps.
Right.
So I think,
Right.
you changed up your lifestyle a little bit and you need a little time to, get back in a routine or create a new routine. And that's healthy and
Right.
don't force it and you're good.
Right, man. So yeah, my whole thing this year has just been, the older I get, the more I realize Like, it's the little things, right, that make you successful, whatever that is. You know, that's
Right.
subjective too. But, like, so building new habits, like deliberately, you know, changing the things that you can change to kind of get to where you want to get with your life. And, you know, it's crazy because, you know, I'll be gung-ho, going stupid at it for a week, and then I'll literally just wake up one day and be like, fuck all that. I'm going to just sit here.
Right.
I'm not going to work. I'm calling off. I'm going to sit here and play my Xbox all fucking day. But then that day for me turns into 2, turns into 3,
Right.
turns into 4. And it's kind of like, okay, you said you were going to take a day. You got your day. You got
Right.
several days.
Right.
Now get back to it. And it's kind of like, well,
See,
you know, and that's something that I don't know how to feel about it, I guess. I don't know if it's something that I should be kicking my ass in this, you know, kicking myself in the ass over,
right.
or if it's something that, you know, it's cool. Just be willing to accept the consequences or whatever that it, you know, whatever happens with
Right.
that. So
that's I'm the same way, but for me, what I used to do, because at previous jobs and a lot of jobs, probably yours too, you like accrue PTO over
Right.
time. You get so much per paycheck or whatever.
right,
So I would be taking that day off a month or whatever it is, and my PTO is always 2 hours, 3 hours, and then it gets to 8, and I'm like, fucking cash that in. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? So I couldn't, you know, just call off the next day or anything. And I'm kind of fighting that now because this job, they gave me 18 days of vacation and sick time, like, combined for the year. So, like, I can kind of wake up and be like, I'm sick, like,
right,
and, like, they'd be like, okay, cool, here's your money for the day.
right.
Like,
Oh my God.
so I'm fighting that. I'm fighting that for
that
sure.
discipline, man. It's that discipline. So
Well, my thing is, like, so, like, you play video games. Do you
Yeah.
play every day?
I
Pretty-
don't.
No.
I used to. No, but actually I probably cut it all the way back to probably 2 or 3 hours a week.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So, but you got that, you got, like, the music production and
Yeah.
different things. So, like, for me, when I take a day off, like, I could podcast by myself. I'm probably going to try that soon just to see how it is.
Yeah.
It might not be released, though. But, like, I don't have not that I don't, but I don't really have, like, a super interest in anything that can take up my time. So, like, I can't.
That would drive me nuts.
I can't throw on a video game,
Right.
or a movie. Like, these things just don't interest me,
Right.
and I can only watch so much stuff about podcasts or podcasts in general or whatever at a time. So that's why I don't call off,
Gotcha.
because I'm gonna be bored as shit
Right.
with nothing to do.
Right.
Like, and I just used that sick day for no reason because I just stayed in
Exactly.
bed
and just did
and
nothing.
watched bullshit ESPN talk about Corona
Yeah.
and replaying fucking baseball games from 40
Right.
years ago.
And
Like,
it ain't like there's nowhere to go really.
Right.
On top of that.
so it's, I don't know. But yeah, I think taking some time off to unwind and stuff is perfectly fine.
Cool.
That was kind of the main point of that.
Yeah, because I feel like even with your passionate stuff, you have to take a break from it. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you might still be fine doing it, but the quality I feel like won't be there. Because
Right.
like I said, my whole point with the whole cutting back on work so I can focus on, you know, my music thing, which I've been doing. I gotta let you hear my shit, by the way. I thought about it on your way over yesterday, but then I completely forgot. So I got some shit. But like I said, I'm always interested in your opinion because you're not to say that you don't listen to beats, but you're not heavy on them.
Right.
You much more on the lyrical content,
Right.
you know, of music. So it'd be interesting to hear your take. Cause like I said, I got some shit that my brother was like, you need to lock this in a fucking vault somewhere.
Right.
Never ever let nobody touch it. And then I got shit that, you know, people were just like, yeah, it was all right.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
Right.
It would be interesting to hear your take on it.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious now too, because like beats, like you said, I mean, I'm more lyrical and stuff like that. But like when I listen to beats, like half the time I'm just like, oh, these are dope lyrics over a simple beat.
Gotcha.
And I kind of think of it in that way, like, oh, this beat isn't anything crazy,
Right.
but they did something crazy with it
Gotcha.
or whatever. So like, I don't know how I would kind of critique a beat.
My brother, he told me that a lot of my shit is simple, But at the same time, he saed you can feel the emotion in it, which has always been.
That's good, though.
Yeah, he's like, you can tell, like, this. You didn't just come in here one night and just put this together overnight.
Right.
It's simple. It's only 4, 5, 6 different sounds, but the way it's put together, he's like, you can really feel, like, you know what I mean. And he's a writer, like I said, he writes. I wish he can get it. He would do it more, because I think he's better than what he thinks he is, in my opinion.
Right.
But he was like, a lot of the shit that he hears from me, he's like, it's shit that, you know, you can't just go in and just freestyle over and be done with it. He was like, the beat takes you to this place where
You
like,
need more substance.
Yes, like you can't just come with no bullshit on the beat, because the beat ain't on no bullshit.
Right.
So
that's good though.
Yeah. So I take a lot of pride in that. However, he is family.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, I'm not gonna tell my brother, like, you know what I mean, dude. Maybe there are brothers out there that'll be like, dude, your shit's like,
I would, but
dog, you need some work. Like,
right.
Don't quit your day job.
Right.
You know, but it is what it is. Moving on though.
Real quick, we just hit 1,000 views on
Oh,
YouTube that I
yes.
forgot to mention.
Wow.
So, yeah.
1,000.
Yeah. So thank you guys for that.
We've only been doing that a little over a month and a half.
Well, yeah, this is going to be our 9th episode on YouTube already.
Damn.
And we have the other videos that were just
What?
audio.
2 months? Over 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that weird? Yeah. Yep. Because the first episode was 40. So 40,
Yeah.
41,
Oh
42,
my
43,
God.
44, 45, 46, 47, 48,
Oh
49.
my God.
Yeah, so this would be our 10th episode, actually,
Oh,
on YouTube.
Jesus.
I don't know. I
Man,
probably
that
just
shit
counted
went
wrong.
fast, bro.
Right, it definitely
really
did.
did.
But yeah, we just hit 1,000. I would say probably like 800 of those are from our videos.
Okay.
The other ones, we put out like episode 1 through 12, I think, just
Pure
audio only.
Right.
And the first episode got like 100. The second episode got like 60. And then everything after that got like 4. So
Right.
because it's an audio hour-long
Right.
podcast on YouTube, like that's just not
Right.
feasible. So I stopped posting them there.
Did you announce we didn't hit 100 subscribers either, did we, last week?
Yes,
that
we
happened
did.
this week.
Oh yeah. That was just like 2-3 days ago.
So we finally got that URL. If you
Yep.
don't know.
Yep. Now I think it went off of the name of our channel, which is the Average AF Podcast, obviously. And you can't make like a custom one per se. It has suggestions.
Right.
So everything like social media wise, we are at Average AF Podcast. On YouTube, it's youtube.com/The Average AF Podcast.
Gotcha.
Not a big deal, but there is the one distinction there where YouTube has the. But that's the only difference. But yeah, we got that now. I tested it. You can go to youtube.com/The Average AF Podcast. It takes you right to our page. So yeah, super stoked on that.
Shout
Thank
out to
you
all
guys
of you for that, for
Yes.
sure.
Actually, speaking of subscribers, though, last I looked, all of our streams and stuff, all of our views, 40, I think, no, 30, like 8% come from our actual subscribers. The other 60% are not subscribed.
Okay.
So please subscribe
Yeah.
if you're looking at this. It's just a
I
button.
mean-
We got the fancy intro that does the click thing that says subscribe. So
I mean,
that should be all you need to subscribe. I guess I'm gonna stutter all day, but yeah. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already.
help us out, y'all.
Real quick, what did you want to move forward to? Because I got one more thing that I think is gonna be fun, but we might wait for it, or we could do it now.
Yeah, let's do it now.
Okay. So I need you to get your phone out for this.
Oh,
Yeah. So, one thing, it's kind of a conspiracy theory, right? But it's interesting. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I need you to pull up Google and
Okay.
type in any 3-digit number you can think of, just whatever
Okay.
you want, and
Okay.
then space, and then the word cases.
CASES.
Yep. And search it. What's the first, it's probably within the first couple. Anything?
What? Coronavirus.
Right. Now, what's the number you put in?
813.
Does it say 813 cases?
Yeah.
Okay. Now do that same thing with any different 3-digit number.
Bro.
Type in, like, I'll do 541.
541.
It's probably within the first couple posts.
Dude, that is what?
Do any 3-digit number, yeah. And it pops up a X amount of cases.
That 813 literally had all of them. This still, though, is like 70%. What the fuck? Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So it's kind of a conspiracy theory.
Hold on. 905.
905. All right, let's hear it. What town, what city does it pull up?
Oh, this is talking about Amazon shit now.
Sometimes you'll get like an error code number or something like that where it's common.
Oh, right. This is talking about a specific product or two.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I got to do another one. Hold on.
Yeah.
760.
I bet if you would have went like a page or two deep, it would have popped up. But
Dude.
Corona?
1, 2. Measles.
I don't know.
764 measles. Measles. This one's big on measles. About half Corona, half measles.
But the point is that like no matter what number you type in, there's a new article about new cases for that exact number.
Look, man, I've already been on this shit where I'm questioning everything I fucking see.
If you're just listening, please tune into YouTube to see Steve's
Like-
reaction.
Yo, this shit is really causing me anxiety because
Right.
I don't know what to believe.
Right.
Like, even like, okay, generally speaking, Fox News can suck my dick.
Yes.
So I
Literally
trust,
speaking.
I I trust CNN. I did trust CNN and MSNBC. If I want to catch some news, some reliable news, I go to one of those two spots.
Right.
But ever since
Everything's
you
so
showed
biased.
me, dude, ever since you showed me the video of the cops breaking their own fucking vehicle windows out,
Right.
breaking down store windows, like I didn't see none of that shit on either one of them. I go into these, I watch the news thinking that they're objective. They go in with cameras and they literally talk about what they see, whether good, bad, positive, negative. No.
Right.
Like, I'm quickly learning that's not the fucking case. And it's making me angry because I can't go out there and I can't go to fucking DC like, whoa, I'm going to go see for my goddamn self what's
Right.
going on over here. Like, you kind of have to, in a way.
You have to trust them to some extent. And the problem is they're feeding into both sides of every argument. So it depends on what channel you watch or, your Google history or whatever the fuck
And
it is.
a lot of these news shows, like, I don't know if you know the people on these channels, but like Rachel Maddow, for example, yeah. So she'll put her own personal spin on the shit that's going on. And I don't want to say she presents it as fact, but, somebody who doesn't watch these sources, they tuning in and then they're taking what she says and what she personally believes as the truth.
As gospel.
Yeah. So,
It's
man.
Yeah, it's a fun little not so fun conspiracy theory.
Wow,
But
bro.
it's just interesting because and the argument is, well, there's so many new cases all the time. There's so many different towns and so many different articles written every
But
single
any
day.
3-digit number, though?
But yeah, like it's been I've done it probably 20 times and like once or twice it'll pop up like if I do like 404, right? It'll be
Right.
like error code 404, like it's the most common thing in the world.
Gotcha, right.
But if I probably would have went a page or two deep, it would have been like 404 new coronavirus cases. And they're just like, okay, now are the, people in power lying to us, or is the media just trying to manipulate us that much? Because like there should be a way that I search 984 cases and corona doesn't come up.
Right.
There should be a way that happens.
You ever try putting shit in quotation marks?
No.
All right. I know that gets you more specialized results when you put shit in quotation
Right.
marks. But still, either way though, like damn, there's 999 3-digit numbers.
Right.
Well, not really. I guess there's a lot.
Right.
But I mean, that's
I'm going to try a 4-digit number just to see.
That's fucking wild.
So
man.
I did 1,238 cases, and it pulls up 145 new coronavirus cases. Total now 1,238. Yeah, so like once you get, West Virginia, 1,238 positive cases. Like that's a 4-digit number. Let me do 2,408. There's a local 2,408 national labor law thing, I guess. But yeah, like 4-digit numbers don't work, which is good. Corona cases rise to 2,408 though no new deaths reported. But yeah, it's just weird, man. And it's like, okay, is it just the media fucking with us? Is it Google fucking with us? Because then there's the conspiracy of
we can never figure it out.
Does
Whatever it is.
Does Bill Gates own Google or Windows or both?
Microsoft.
Isn't Google part of Microsoft?
I don't think so.
No? Am I wrong? Okay. Oh, no. But either way, the 3-digit number thing is weird, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist either, but it's just something interesting to kind of bring up.
Like I said, man, these days I take all fucking opinions into consideration, and that one I can't disprove.
Right.
So
It's
who's
just
to fucking
weird.
say, bro?
It's
like,
just weird. God. All right, well, we can move on. I just wanted to get that out there because I think it's funny, but not funny, but funny.
Yeah.
So, like.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
All right, what's up?
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, we kind of know where you want this to go. But let's actually draw a roadmap.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, I was talking to Taylor at work about this, and we talked about how passionate you were about this. You specifically, it's there, it's evident with the episodes, with the equipment that you've invested in. But I told him that in order for this thing to go where you want it to go, I feel like, me personally, I don't have the type of personality that's required to, because I feel like the people, like, I've been watching a lot of podcasts, since you've introduced me to some people, and these are, I don't want to call them extroverts, but their personalities are definitely more upbeat, more energetic, more.
Yeah, let me interject real quick. The podcasts that I've shown you and stuff, these are comedians.
Okay.
These are like professional performers and like,
Gotcha.
Just kind of wild people in general.
Okay.
Not all podcasts are like that.
Gotcha.
Like, think of Joe Rogan. I mean, Joe Rogan is kind of that way, but at the same time, he can just sit back and have a intellectual conversation.
But he is, and he's got his hands on a lot of different things on top of that,
Yeah.
which I'm sure helps.
Right.
But I always felt like you said, the difference between me and you with this thing is the passion. Like, I don't have that same passion you do to do. I just started getting into trying to promote some of my music. Like,
Right.
even as I'm doing it, it's like, this is something that I actually want to do and make money off of someday. But like, even when it comes to promoting it, and like that shit takes work for me. Like,
Right.
it takes a deliberate effort. It ain't something that I just wake up like, oh, I should do this, and just throw it out there. Like, it takes, I have to manually be like, okay, step 1, do this.
Right.
Step 2, do that. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I'm hoping, like, and I think you around the right person. That's why I'm like, Jerry, man. Like, I don't understand how he wouldn't commit. I talked to his ass earlier today anyway.
Did you?
Him,
Did
and
you
I
talk to him about it?
I did not.
Okay.
Asia was with him. So
Oh.
that's the first time I've seen her.
Shout
in a while.
out Erica too, because Erica messaged him
Okay.
from our conversation after the podcast last week,
Yeah.
and she messaged him, and she said something along the lines of like, "Why are you letting the people down?" Just randomly or something, and he's like, "What?"
Because, dude, like,
Yeah.
y'all could make some,
I think we
not
could get,
just with the people that, have known y'all over the years,
right.
but just on a national level. Like, you know, and I understand why I'm not knocking you, Jerry. Don't think that I'm sitting here.
I am. You trying to be a millionaire or not?
You know, but I think it's something that it will be natural for you two.
Right.
And to get where you wanted this thing to go, I think that's part of what it needs. On top of, like, we talked about this before we started recording. But like on top of actually getting out there, being
Right.
you know, in the field, quote unquote, going to events and shows and thinking of things that we can do and actually meeting people. I
Right.
think that will be the next step. Coronavirus happened and it kind of put a damper on the plans for a second. But besides that part of it, I really feel like you know, you said you got Baker come on. I don't know him very well. But that the next step I feel like will be getting that person that you can sit and, cause you love comedy, like you said
Right.
it, you know, you can be somewhat of a fucking comedian, and
I try.
you know, we didn't say stand up, but you know,
Right.
you have that type of humor and personality to be able to sit and converse with somebody of the same exact, you know, style, and you know, have that wittiness to go back and forth,
Right.
you know, and just make entire podcasts out of it, and it'd be natural.
Right.
Like, it wouldn't be nothing that you'd really have to like plan out or work at or anything like that, you know. So I feel like I said, I don't know Baker very well.
Right.
Maybe, you know,
Well,
he can do that.
Baker's good. Baker's cool because he's like, honestly, he's kind of like a mix between you and Jerry.
Okay.
Like, Baker is actually very business oriented as well, and like that's kind of I'm excited to see him come on because I'm excited to hear his ideas
Gotcha.
because he's like I said, very business oriented and things like that. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm pretty fucking goofy sometimes, and he kind of goes in there with me. Like,
Gotcha.
that's the difference. Like with you and Baker and Jerry and stuff. Like with you, and I love this too.
Yeah.
I'll say something fucking off the wall, and Steve just smiles and looks away, and it's like, I can't believe you fucking said that.
Right.
And that's hilarious, and I love that reaction. But like with Baker or Jerry, I'll say something dumb, and they'll pile on,
Right.
and then we just kind of go back and forth. That's the difference.
That's amazing too. I've just never been witty in that way. You know.
My dad actually, I specifically remember this. We were eating at the dinner table one day, and which we never did, by the way. But you know, Mom threw one of her tantrums and said, "Let's eat like a family," like, you know. So we did, and you know,
It's like they do in the movies.
Right.
It's about the old time that shit
right,
happened.
like, yeah. But me and my dad were giving each other shit. Like, I don't remember why, but it was just fun. And like, you know, he said something, and then I just said something back that was hilarious. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, well, you know," and then like tried to say something, and then I just hit him again with something, and like it just happened multiple times. And eventually he dropped his fork and he goes, "How the hell do you do that?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "How do you think of this shit so fast?" And I'm like, "I don't." Like, and I've said this before on the podcast too, like, the reason I laugh at my own jokes is because I don't know they're coming out. Like, it
That's
just
wild.
comes out, and then
Right.
I'm like, that was fucking funny.
Right, that's
like,
wild.
and I'm proud of myself.
That's wild.
But yeah, so like, and my mom brought up a point. It's probably because my brother has the same like quick wit like that. But he's like 10 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So he's 16 picking on a 6-year-old, and I got to like kind of try to
Right,
keep up.
right.
And it just naturally happened
Right.
to
That
where
challenge over time
Right.
just sharpens
like,
you.
yeah. So
yeah, man.
it's always fun. It's always, I mean, goofy is like my preferred state, right? But I also like to have these deep discussions, and, you know, again, I'm kind of business oriented and things like that, but that I kind of want 2 podcasts. Like,
Gotcha.
that's, but I also
Ooh,
have
that'd
to
be
work.
so time consuming. Oh my God.
But you got to think too, and again, like, this is just long term though, to kind of wrap this up and kind of answer your question. Like, eventually, I just want to get to a point to where we can hire like one producer that handles the video, the cameras. Maybe I'll do the editing, or, you know, however we work it out. and then like kind of go from there. Because if we're at a point to where we can hire somebody to do this, then I'm probably not either working as much, or even if I am, that's not taking as much time.
Right.
And like things like that, and, you know, build up the Patreon and all that kind of stuff. So I have a lot of big goals, but right now it's just hard because, you know, we're both working to schedule things out, and, you know, like trying to figure out all the new software and how to do certain things.
Right.
And,
That should take time, man.
you know, so
Yeah.
that's kind of the end goal, is to do the podcast for a living.
Right.
And that's, I mean, I've shown you some of the Patreons for,
Jesus.
now these are comedians like with big audiences and stuff, but they're bringing home 30, 40,000 a year plus, or a month, sorry, plus. Like literally all I would need for me personally, we'll just put a round number on it. We'll say like $3,000 a month would be more than what I'm making now. And like, you know,
Right.
and it would be, which I probably wouldn't, but you could quit your job at that point and just do the podcast. Right.
Right.
So if it's me and a buddy, you know, in theory, if we get the Patreon up to $5,000, $6,000, now it's just on, and we can make content and just go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Without so much of the behind the scenes stuff.
right.
Yeah.
So without, you know, the job taking 40 hours and, you know, the family and like all that kind of stuff, there's a lot more time for then like an explosion of stuff.
Right.
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 But it's just hard right now to find the balance between making sure I put all the content out on time, make sure I'm on social media, spending time with, you know, my daughter, and, you know, figuring out what the next step is as far as the new mics, figuring out this thing, you know, the Rodecaster Pro, the software,
Right.
what camera to buy, what lighting to buy, what headphones to buy.
And that's
what,
the thing
like,
too. Maybe we'd accelerated that had I been a little more involved. Maybe not.
I don't know.
But you know what I mean? It's something that, you know, like I said with Baker, if he's willing to go that distance with you, the road's endless,
Right.
man. It really is. And I'm just happy that I was able to, I guess, start that foundation. You know, down the road, you know, if shit gets huge, you know, I'm gonna be like, hey,
right.
hey,
Check out the first 52 episodes.
you know,
Right.
like I was in that, you know, and I'll never take credit for it, you know, but it was something that I did for fun and to kind of push myself out of my own comfort
Right.
zone. And then look what it turned into. Like I was there at the beginning. You know, you can pretty much call me a day one because I was
Right.
there. You know what I mean? I seen all the shit, all the struggling,
Right.
all the figuring shit out. And now look, you know, started from the bottom. Now we here.
Yeah, dude.
You know, and I still have that vision, man. And like I said, after the fact, dude, hit me up anytime. Like, hey, you trying to come on this week? No fucking problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? At all. I really do. And another thing that I'm really proud of that I talked to Taylor about today was the fact that I think I only missed one episode.
Right.
Mainly because both days that we record, I worked like till 9 or 10. It just wasn't,
Right.
just not realistic. Outside of that one time, you know, I've been on every single one, every single week. You have been on every single, we've never compromised.
Right.
Like through all the obstacles, you know, we had nights where the weather was ass.
Right.
And, you know, everything else. We could have came up with like, dude, I'm just not really feeling it this week.
Blizzards
Or,
and shit.
you know what I
like-
mean? I think there was one day we was going to record, but instead of canceling, you said, let's do it tomorrow. It wasn't a thing like that when you had that super crazy migraine. You
yeah.
were like, I think we were going to do it on a Friday.
Right. Yep.
And we were like, he was like, nah, can we do it tomorrow? Because tonight I'm just not feeling it. You could have easily been like, dude, let's just cancel this week because I'm not. But
Right.
no, like, you know what I mean? There's nobody forcing us to do that shit. There's
Right.
nobody, you know, I mean, granted, we obligated to, I guess, we got Patreons that are paying for content. We have to fulfill our needs on that end, but I'm sure they wouldn't trip if we took a week and been like, dude, we got a lot going
Right.
on. Sorry, but
Right. That
no excuses. We never made them. So, you know, that's something I think we can really be proud of
right.
to this point.
And you know, I've had people like when I'm like, man, it's 10, 11 o'clock, like I'm hanging out with somebody and I'm like, I gotta go home, like I gotta get the podcast ready to be up in the morning.
Right.
And they're like, just put it out tomorrow afternoon.
Right.
And
That's all it takes, though. It'll
and-
be that easy
right.
to
And,
fall
like,
into that.
The problem is I don't think, well, and it's not a problem, I don't think anybody, maybe 1 or two people that I can think of would be like, hey, I'm missing the episode. Is there something up? Like maybe one or two people.
Right.
Jackie, maybe, and maybe Justin, but I don't think he listens right away.
Right.
But like, I think, I don't think if I pushed it off by a couple hours or whatever it was, anybody would care. I don't think anybody would care, but I would.
Right.
I've made the point to put every episode out at 6 a.m., no matter what it is, whether it's the bonus episode on Mondays on the Patreon, whether it's the early release on Tuesday on the Patreon at 6 a.m. If it's the regular episode on Wednesday, it's 6 a.m. on the audio, and then usually 8 a.m. on the video, because I got to do that one manually.
Right.
I can't set that one up to... You can technically schedule an episode when it releases, but these episodes go private mode, so nobody can see them unless they have the link on the Patreon. But to change that to... But, like, I can't change it from private to scheduled. You can only go scheduled from the jump.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a weird thing. But, so when I wake up on Wednesdays, I, make that episode go live on YouTube. But yeah, so, I mean, I'm committed to it. I've got standards myself, and I think that's the main thing. And it's something that, obviously, I'm very passionate about, and I don't foresee it going away.
Good.
I was actually thinking this yesterday. I'm like, man, if something happened, like, to where, Baker couldn't do the show and I couldn't find another co-host, like, the show would go on. It would be weird because I'd be solo, or I'd try to get a guest in or whatever, but, like, solo episodes, like, if it comes down to it, like, it's going to happen.
Right.
That's the craziness, and I don't want that to happen. That would be scary as shit.
Right.
But it would happen because we got to put out an episode every week, and nobody's forcing us to. We're not sponsored by anybody. Get on the Patreon if you want to sponsor us. But yeah, like we're not sponsored by anybody. I just do this for my love of it, and then like a little bit for the Patreon, right? Because you got to show love for those people that have been nice enough to help us out. But aside from that, the majority of it is just me doing it because I think I have to.
Gotcha.
Right. So,
from this point, or after you like down the road, do you see yourself like because like a lot of big they do multiple per week,
right?
Or like Joe Rogan's, a lot of times his goes 2.5 hours, 3. Me personally, oh my God, like that would stress me out alone. Like, what the fuck am I going to talk about for 3 hours? He has guests though, which helps a lot. But
and he has like master guests of like whatever they're into or smart people. So yeah,
I guess there's a lot of content to dive into.
Right.
They're probably not going to see him again for a while, so it's that time to do that. But just that alone, like if you told me next week, all right, next week we're going to do a 3-hour podcast, be ready. Like, dude, I'm going to sit here and be like, look, bro, I got a solid hour and a half, and then after that, we just going to have to wing it because.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do see a point where I don't put a limit on time, but ideally, like Fighter and the Kid, lately there's been an hour, and that's been kind of a bummer because they usually go about an hour and a half.
Right, I was going to say, yeah, the ones you showed me,
But I would like to keep every episode between an hour and 2.
Okay.
If it goes over and it's a natural conversation and it's cool, then cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would do it potentially twice a week.
Okay.
I don't know if I would do more than that, but then at the same time, if I'm doing twice a week, that probably means I'm getting paid for it to some extent.
Right.
Which means I'm probably going to try to have a second podcast of just being dumb and I don't know, but I don't know. That's the awesome thing about podcasting in this. Like, we're like a month and a half away from a year, right?
Yep.
And I would say we're pretty successful for that first year.
Dude, yeah. If you'd asked, yeah, for sure. Like, if you'd have told me at the beginning of this thing, like, oh, in 10, 11 months, we'll have 1,000 views on YouTube.
Right.
I'd have been like, okay.
Right.
we could try that, but,
Well, yeah, right now we just passed 4,500 on audio and 1,000 on YouTube. So we're at right around 5,500. And like I said, we still have a month and a half left till we hit the year point. So if anybody's kind of doing some math internally, Steve's last episode is episode 52, but it is not quite a year.
Right.
I think it's like 3.5 weeks before our year mark, but that's because we've changed schedules a couple times.
Yes.
And I think twice we've had 2 episodes in the same week.
Yeah, I know at least once.
I know the one time with Taylor, and then
Right.
we ended up going a little longer. We just stayed afterwards and was like, well, let's just fucking do another one.
Right.
But yeah, that's why we're already at 52. But once we hit a year, I think we'll be at 55 or 56. And at that point, we're probably going to be close to, I mean, I would guess at least 6,000 total views. And that's not
The way
bad.
it's going, yeah.
That's
For some dudes that started from nothing, man.
Right.
It's really not, bro.
And that's the other thing too. Like we have like friends and stuff, obviously, but we're not famous. We're not the cool kids. We're
right.
not.
I'm a fucking loner.
Right. We're
Like,
both loners. Really.
I literally got like all my people I can count on one fucking hand. Like who
Right. Right.
So that in and of itself, I think is crazy. You imagine if we lived in Columbus?
Right. I know.
Like,
Just how many people we'd have
bro,
access to
yeah.
and stuff.
Like, it could be for coming out of Mansfield. I think it's something to be proud of. I don't know too many people, actually. I'm going to say it right here, right now. I dare somebody else to try to top what we've done from this area in the same amount of time. I guarantee there ain't too many more people that can do it.
Anybody without any clout, too. Let's
Right.
keep that in mind.
Right.
You can't
People
be a
that-
mayor or anything like that. Like, but yeah,
Got
like,
their police chief or some shit
right.
like that.
we don't have a following.
No,
We
man.
don't have, I guess we kind of do now or whatever. But like, we never had. We started this with literally like,
Dude.
I was thinking we were gonna get like 15 plays, and I think we talked about that a lot because like going way back to the first couple episodes, we said we're gonna do this at least until 8 episodes.
Right. That was the
Because
goal.
yeah,
The 7 was the cutoff mark. Right.
because a lot of people, I guess statistically, get to 7 episodes and realize not many people are listening, or they're not getting the results or the clout or the money or whatever they think they're going to get. So they end up quitting at episode 7. That's just an average. So going into it, before we even recorded our first episode, we said, hey, we're going to at least make it to 8
Right.
and see how we feel and go from there. And I specifically remember on the 8th episode, we were like, fuck yeah, like this is happening.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's cool, man. I just,
For sure.
I love it. And I want to thank you too, because without you coming on, this would have never started. And this is,
You don't think you would have started by yourself?
because I wanted to for a while,
Okay.
but I was like, I don't want to
didn't
do
know
it by
that.
myself.
I
Yeah.
figured when you hit me up was like kind of the first beginnings, like, hey, I'm thinking about starting this podcast. You want to do it with me?
I've wanted to do it for a long time, but timing wise, and I kind of wanted Jerry to do it with me,
right,
and
right.
he wouldn't commit. And like I said, our circle's small, so I wasn't like,
Right.
I didn't have like a ton of options.
Right.
And we bring guests in that that we know, but aren't like super familiar with, like best friends or whatever, aside from maybe a couple. But I didn't want that type of person to be my co-host.
Right.
To somebody
An
I don't really
acquaintance,
know. Yeah.
to
So
be right.
so I was like, I got like 3 options. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, man.
Baker was working 3rd shift, and I honestly didn't think you would be interested. But eventually I was like, dude, like, I just want to do this. And
Right.
you're like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, for real? Like, oh, shit. And then I'm like, damn, this is real.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't ponder it too long. But like I said, I was at a point in my life where, like, I was realizing, like, I'm never going to get anywhere by doing the same shit all the time.
Right.
Like, I need to force myself, whether it be I need to do something different than what I have been doing, and kind of give myself some sort of responsibility outside of somebody else giving it to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my job or, my goddamn mom or something.
That was the thing. Like, I needed a hobby.
Yeah.
I needed something to do.
I feel you.
And this was the only thing that I was like,
I guess it kind of worked out because, like I said, I plan on moving to Arizona September, October.
Right.
had I not planned on moving, I probably would have told you no. Because I knew that I didn't want to do it long term.
I was gonna say that was that. I mean, we talked about it for a second.
I guess the stars aligned.
That was one of the things immediately. You were like, look, it's not gonna be long term. Like before we even recorded the first one.
Yeah.
And so it's not like a shocking thing. It sucks that we're coming up on it.
Right.
You know that it's gonna be the last episode, but we've known since before we put out our first episode.
Right.
We just didn't know exactly when or whatever. But it's just. Definitely interesting. Real quick before we continue.
Okay.
I forgot about something and I want to do it right now.
Do it. Oh.
You want to do some shots?
Ah.
I don't have any shot glasses, but
Man, and you got the Douce.
Yep.
You like it?
Yeah, it's all right. Well, so
a lot of people that I've known that tasted that, they said what is it, cognac?
Yeah.
They said for cognac, it is amazing.
It is really smooth.
Which, like I said, as long as it's dark, I mean, all that shit kind of tastes the same to me, to be honest. I'm not much of a connoisseur, I guess.
I don't know how much a shot is in these glasses or these plastics, but this is actually the bottle from that me, Tommy, and Jordan sipped on.
Oh,
and
that night.
Yeah,
okay.
He just let me take the rest of it, and
you might as well just
we'll top it off.
All right.
He let me take the rest of it, and I don't drink much,
right?
So I was holding it, and today I was like, let's top it off.
Yeah, man.
This is probably 2 shots.
You can pour me some.
It's empty, bro.
I'm talking about out of your cup. If you don't.
Oh no, we're good.
You good? All right.
You gonna do this all in one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that wasn't bad.
No, it's that Douce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely smooth for sure.
Expensive. That fucking bottle's like $17.
Is it? Damn.
The big one, they only sell it in 2 fucking sizes, which pisses me off. Because I want the one like in between that one and the other one. But the other one's like a fifth. It's like damn near, I think $50, $60.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. So it's good shit though, but last time I bought that shit was New Year's. Like, it's got to be something like that for me to invest in that.
But that was the bottle that me, Tom, and Jordan sipped on, and we had a little bit left. So I figured, given the situation,
yeah, man,
Tommy and Jordan aren't going to be on before, before this is over. So that's a little ode to both of them. Some shots live on the podcast, but yeah, man. So I wanted to ask you, what if you could think of one moment? I know this would be kind of hard for me, but if you could think of one moment or maybe one episode, what would be your favorite episode or moment so far?
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
it's been a year full of memories.
Yep.
Just off the top of my head, the one we just talked about. That was the one and only time where we started fucking talking and wasn't recording. That one I'll never forget that. Did we still have that footage? Did you do anything with that?
What? Oh,
we had the audio, didn't we? Or something. We had some form of it, or was it completely nothing was recording?
We had the audio, but we didn't.
I just
want to
at least let the people someday hear the part where we realized that we weren't recording, and then my laughter for about 10 minutes after the fact.
I don't think we have it.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I wish people would have seen that, because I was over here laughing my ass off, and Adam was like, look, that shit just pissed me the fuck off.
Like, it sucked. But, like, I wasn't mad, but I was disappointed.
Right. Because we were rolling. Like,
yeah,
oh my
it was
God.
a good
The part
episode.
that came out wasn't even, probably not even half as good as it felt when we were first doing it. So we had to recycle a lot of that and bring that same enthusiasm. It was just hard to do.
Right.
It's hard to do.
That was episode 42, I believe. So if you want to and you haven't, please, especially on YouTube, go check out episode 42 because we come in fucking hot.
Yes.
And I loved it.
With the earphones over.
Yep. Oh my God. But yeah, that was definitely a good tragic moment.
That was fresh in my mind. I'm gonna try to think of another one, man. Let's see.
I think I know mine, but I'm not sure if this would be my favorite.
Yeah, man. God damn, there's so many.
The one that came to mind for me is I forget what episode it was, but it was one with Jerry. I think it was it might have been episode 8 or 9.
Okay, his first one.
Yeah, I think it was episode 9 because we wanted to get through 8 by ourselves, and then we brought in Jerry. But I think, it was his first episode, and just the way he recapped, us all living together, and mainly the Martin Luther King Jr. Day and the watermelon. That fucking story,
bro. I
infamous.
forgot until he brought that back up. I literally probably would have spent the rest of my life forgetting that story.
Right.
But that shit was timeless, and like I said, I respect him for that shit because you can't do that to every black person,
right?
Like, and take it the way I took it. You know, I thought it was fucking hilarious. I know some people that would have knocked his head off, and the fact that he didn't know what I would do, but still decided to do
that's
it.
What
the balls of that man.
He talked to me about it, and I was like, "Look, like
the cojones."
I was like, Steve knows you. You know Steve. Like, I think it would be okay, but proceed at your own risk.
Oh God!
And it was
damn it.
What, Martin Luther King Day or King Jr. Day, whatever day.
Yeah.
And Jerry walked up to Steve and said, "Hey, I got you something."
Right.
Didn't reference the holiday because it's not one that's usually in the forefront of whatever.
I wasn't thinking of it. That's for
he said, "I got you something," and Steve was like, "What?" And he just fucking whips around a fucking watermelon,
a personal one, like the little baby was.
Right. And then I think he said, "Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day," and you just fucking died laughing. And I was like, thank God I don't have to drive anybody to the hospital because I owe Jerry that. He's driven me to the hospital before. So I got to, I was like, man, I don't want to cash that in yet. So
it was fucking brilliant, honestly. Like like I said, the ballsiness on top of the humor, like to be able to combine them both like that that's
the other thing, real quick. Why, like, I would love Jerry to be on the podcast, but
give me your fucking watermelon.
But you know how we are,
Jeez.
And I think, we might have blown up or whatever you want to call it, but like, my job would have seen that, and like, that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
So I think once we get enough Patreon support where I don't have to have a job, then we'll let loose fully.
Right.
But like.
Yeah. Jeez, man. Jeez. Yeah, looking back over the last year, though, I mean, the one, like I said, it's probably because it's freshest in my mind. We just talked about it. But that one and you asked for my favorite, right?
Whatever you want to bring up, yeah.
The most memorable one, though, probably was the one where forgive me, I forget his name. Where he was describing all the shit he had went through in his childhood with the epilepsy and
Justin.
Yeah, Justin. Duh. Forgive me, Justin. Nothing against you. I'm a little tipsy right now. But that one, and I just remember like how I felt like most of that episode. I don't think I talked that much. Because I was just sitting there, staring at him and just trying to put myself in those shoes.
Right.
And then the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, like, dude, you think your life has been shit?
Right.
Like, yeah, I've been through some shit. I've been shot and shit. But, like, dude.
You had that same kind of demeanor during Baker's episode, too. Talking about when he went into a coma and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
we've definitely had some deep episodes,
dude,
and we've had some goofy ass fucking episodes.
Dude, yes,
too.
Yes. The 2 Truths and a Lie that we did the one time, that was really fun. I really like that one.
One highlight that a lot of people love is when we talked about. I'm gonna try to pull it up to reference what episode it was. I think it was episode like 15 or something when we did the celebrity fist fights.
Oh,
episode 19. Yeah, episode 19.
Damn, that was that long ago?
Yeah, that was 30 episodes ago. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, we talked about and this is actually something that still goes on today.
Yeah, that poll ended with you winning, though, by the way, right? Was there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I definitely won.
Yeah.
I forget what it was, but I definitely won. But
I still want to see it. You're not convincing me.
So we did.
I still want to fucking see it.
We did a segment on episode 19 that was celebrity fist fights, and we just talked about who we think would win in a street fight versus the celebrities. They were, I think, all athletes, though.
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
But it was like the main one that caused drama, not really, but was Ronda Rousey versus James Harden. And Jackie, definitely, shout out Jackie. She's on my side, and she got pissed.
Fuck both of y'all.
Right. So I think Ronda Rousey could knock out James Harden in a street fight.
Okay, so later on we put some rules on it. Like, in what context?
Right.
10 minutes, no rules.
Right.
I don't think that Ronda Rousey could knock James Harden out. She can make him bleed. She can probably hurt him. He's going to be feeling it for a little bit. But to knock him out cold on the fucking ground, I don't see it happening.
I do, man. You just
bro,
don't respect MMA like you should, man. It's so upsetting.
I
And
would love to see that. That's something I would pay a whole check to see, just to see.
So, for the last couple months, I've been trying to show you UFC fights and, get you to tune into some fights.
Yes.
Just so you know, that's the reason. I'm trying to get you to respect UFC a little more.
Man.
And people fighting. Like, dude, she would fuck him up. She would fuck him up.
Yeah, she broke the one dude's ribs and everything with that one fucking drop.
On accident.
Right. Wasn't even trying.
Right. Dude, she would fuck him up. Man. I need everybody on Twitter to @ James Harden and Ronda Rousey and tell James Harden that Ronda would beat his ass. And he's going to not know why. And I need this to go viral.
Yes. Because I don't see it happening. I really don't.
We put a poll on Twitter is what he was referencing before. And I forget what the results were. I could try to find it.
Last you told me it was 6-9 or out of 9, you had 6 of them.
Right.
So it was like
that.
66 or 33%.
Let me see if I can find it. But yeah.
But the final, did it stay at that?
9 votes. Yeah, it was 6-3.
Right.
That she could knock him out.
It doesn't tell you the 3 that was on my side?
No, I'm trying to look at it, but shout out to Jackie and the Greener Grass podcast because she said rowdy with a lot of exclamation marks, and she said I'm wearing my Ronda shirt today just because of this poll. So that's how pissed off you made her. She's probably glad you're leaving, actually. After that, no, not really, but yeah. So,
bro, you will never convince me.
That was one of our funnest episodes, though. What else, man? I still don't think you've mentioned what your favorite is, or maybe favorite guest. I don't know if you want to say that.
Well, I think that's a bias automatically because Taylor's my favorite fucking guest. I love NBA, and I think he loves it more than I do. And I fucking live, breathe, and fucking shit NBA.
Right.
So I literally don't watch. I mean, I watch NFL, but seriously, only when the playoffs start. That's when I'm interested in NFL. MLB, I love to watch the World Series. Outside of that, even the regular playoffs, no interest. Hockey, I'll watch it if it's on. Soccer,
You know what I think we need more of in this country? Curling. You know what curling is?
Is that the one with the No, that's discus. I'm thinking of discus.
The broom and the ice.
Oh, were they? Bro.
Yeah, bro.
You showed me fucking cornhole, literally.
Dude, you didn't believe me. We talked about that too.
I watched ESPN all the fucking time. I have never seen cornhole tournaments.
We talked about that just a couple weeks ago, and Steve's like, what? And I'm like, they're literally on ESPN right now. That's how shitty it is. And he's like, what? No. And like 2 days later, I sent him a video like, look, bitch, they're right here.
It's literally
ESPN.
Do you know how much I fucking watched that channel and never have seen?
It was like 7 p.m. Like it was prime time. Like it wasn't early in the day, I don't think. And I'm just like, look,
Oh my
there's
God.
fucking cornhole championships on the on
People
fucking
really
ESPN.
do go that hard
this,
at it.
This isn't ESPN Ocho. This is
Right,
fucking
right.
ESPN.
Right.
Like, you tend to not believe me, man. What's up with that? You tend to not believe me a lot.
I don't know, man.
Is it my face?
Yeah, you got that liar, man. You got that liar look on you.
That's
Like,
cool.
You like you lie. It's like somebody that looks like they stink.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Well, those are pretty accurate usually. I very rarely lie because I've actually said this. I don't lie because I don't care enough about your opinion to lie.
Shit, yes.
Like,
I love that mentality.
if somebody's like,
I got too much estrogen in me to believe in that.
yeah, you do. But if somebody's like, do I look fat in this? I'll be like, yeah, bro. Like, please change your outfit.
God damn.
I won't. I'll do that to a dude, not to a chick.
You
I'm not trying to.
I
I'm not
always
trying to
said,
ruin their life,
bro.
I'm not.
You know,
I won't say that. Never mind.
listen.
But see, this is the shit that would get me in trouble with Jerry because he would pile on, and then I would say something, and then I would be listed as undateable because of some of the fucking bullshit I say, and it's just for comedy. And I'm
do you
sorry,
know what he believes?
right? Like, oh man. Jerry's going to get me in trouble, which is why
shit.
if you want Jerry as a co-host, please sign up for patreon.com/average podcast because if you can fund my life, then we'll get Jerry to be on
Jerry
here.
would quit his job too.
Yes, for sure.
He would. He would. That's some shit though, man. That is
Let's
some
keep
shit.
going. Don't look at the timer.
No, I was trying to remember what the fuck I was gonna say. You know, especially I listen to really all rap. 95% of my fucking music is rap. And all these people, they talk about, oh, I'm the same person I was before I blew up, and
Right.
all this shit, or like, oh no, you fake, you changed, and all this shit.
Right.
Now, I would like to say I'd be the same person, and I think I would, to a point. With that, I think the biggest change that you would see in me, and I don't know why I don't do it now because it don't make sense when I really think about it. But yeah, my filter would go fuck out the window.
Right.
Like, if I don't have to depend on anything or anybody, period, like, bitch, I got money in the bank,
Right.
you gonna hear my fucking thoughts.
Right.
And whether you like them or not, like, there will be no filter. Like,
Right.
I filter so much shit at work.
Right. Right.
Like,
But that's why I love, like, History Hyenas because, like, we watched the episode just, what, was that yesterday?
yeah. Yep.
And, like, they're fucking going wild with some of the shit they
Yes.
say. And that's the whole premise of the show. But they're also bringing in $30K a month on Patreon.
Fuck.
They don't need fucking day jobs.
Right.
And, I mean, they're stand-up comedians, but the point's still there. Like, the only reason I'm not 100% as goofy as I can be, and I don't say some of the shit that I think of, is because I'm trying to not get fired. Like, because I know actually a
That shit
decent
matters.
a decent amount of people at my work listen to our podcast, so thank you if you're listening. But at the same time, if I say something dumb, please don't go telling on me. Like, but like, I could say much worse things.
Right.
Like, and I have, and I will, but that's reserved for patreon.com/average podcast. But like, it's just like, I'm trying to not get fired before I'm allowed to get fired.
Right.
Like, if I got money, I
you
get
can
fired.
afford to
deuces.
get fired.
Right.
Right. Before I can afford to, yes.
I can't live off the $70 a month we're bringing on patreon.com/average podcast.
Right. Go there now.
Right. Please sign up. Help me.
You could, we should flash like subliminal messages during the podcast. It's like a quarter of a second
Right.
long. Like, sign up.
Pop, pop, pop. Like
You believe in that shit? Subliminal messages in that visual form. Like,
Yeah.
do you?
Yeah. There's studies and shit about that, bro.
So, studies. What do studies mean?
Studies mean like smart people.
Oh, so you believe them because they're smart. That you were told they were smart.
Look, man, we already went down our conspiracy trail today. I'm not trying to do another one. I only got energy for one conspiracy a day.
Like I said, I'm questioning everything. Fuck it all. Fuck it all. I don't know what to believe.
Right.
I'm gonna believe nothing.
Right.
I'm gonna just, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'm really at that point in my life where I'm gonna just,
Well, that's what me and my roommate were talking about yesterday because I showed him the cases thing that we did.
yeah.
And he's like, man, like, I don't know. And he kind of gets, I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but he kind of gets upset at the media and things like that, rightfully so. But I'm just like, dude, I don't even care enough. Like, because there's so much bias and shit.
Right.
Like, no matter what I look up, I can find confirmation bias about it. And, like, so there's so much out there, and it all depends on the source you're getting it from and behind the scenes and who's directing who to write what. And, you know, hey, you need to not have that sentence in there because it conveys the wrong message and, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, so I just believe nothing. Like, I just don't change my life. Like,
It's
it
so
is
hard
what it
not
is.
to, though, man. You want to trust somebody, even if it's just one person or one source.
You know who I trust?
Your brain?
No, I don't even trust my brain. Like, are you dumb? Have you met me? Like, no. I definitely don't trust my brain. I trust Jerry because he's a good person, aside from his mouth. And I trust Baker because he is actually a good person with his mouth. And that sounded sexual, but
Right.
and I trust you.
You got a good mouth, Baker.
Yeah,
he got great mouth.
real nice. We'll edit that out, except we can't, so whatever.
He said you got a purty mouth, Baker.
Right. No, you said that actually.
No,
I'm gonna bring that up when he's up.
I'm
on here.
paraphrasing you. You have a purty mouth.
Paraphrase don't hold up in court, bro. You need to bring that audio and visual evidence. Oh shit.
I got pictures of a purty mouth.
Right.
Just say it's his.
Anyway, I don't know what the fuck we were talking about, but yeah, like fuck the government, and I don't trust them.
Right. I mean, you want, like I said, you want to trust somebody. It's just extremely difficult when you know that they're not being, I want to infiltrate Hollywood just to see.
I like that you just bulked up about that. You said, "All right, let's do this."
Man, like this shit makes me mad. Like I don't know. You know, my roommate at the time, she asked me when the shit was going down with not Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me in my face, had you been friends with Harvey Weinstein and knew all this shit was going on, would you say anything? My initial reaction was like, fuck yeah. There is no way I could let innocent people.
Right.
You know, if I heard, she gave me a specific scenario. She was like, okay, so let's say you didn't see anything, didn't hear anything, whatever. You and Harvey are tight. Not maybe like best friends, but y'all like tight. Like you would do anything for him, he would do anything for you. And somebody came to you and was like, look, I seen Harvey Weinstein do this. Had evidence, whatever form of evidence, but had clear evidence that shit went down.
Right.
Would you say something? And my initial thought was like, yeah.
Right. Well, it kind of comes down to, and it kind of like the D'Elia thing, like right now, like.
So you saying that if Brennan and Brian,
right,
if they seen something, you think they would say something?
I do, but it comes down to like we try to be open-minded about everything, and it's like it would be very hard to turn on a very close friend that quickly, not thinking like the video's doctored or whatever,
Right.
Especially if it's like you and something comes out, I'm gonna be like, well, like I'm gonna be cautious, obviously, but.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't want to believe it at first. And I definitely wouldn't go to the public about it first.
Agreed.
But, yeah, I mean, everybody thinks that they would make the morally right decision. And I think...
That's where I internally, that's what I thought. I didn't say it to her, but I'm like, would I really? In that circumstance,
I think
where I'm
we
rich and my reputation could possibly be on the line because I'm associated with them, like, heavy.
Right.
Would I really, like, in what form?
Well,
like, do I go to the victim and try to convince them to speak up? Would I directly go to the media or to the cops or whoever?
Right.
Would I go to Harvey and be like, look, dude, that's fucked up? I don't know. I don't know unless I'm in that situation.
Right. That's the
But
thing. Like,
I know that I wouldn't be silent.
I think we would both do the right thing. I just don't know as how quick. Like, if you get shown a video, are you immediately going...
Ooh,
to the
that's a great
dude or the
question.
media or however you wanted to
That's
handle
a great
it.
question.
I think we would sit on it for a minute. I don't know how long, depending on what it is, but and we'd be like, look, I don't know, and like kind of think about it, and then maybe we would talk to the person that showed us the video and kind of vet them. Like, well, how'd you get this video? Is it not doctored? Like, is this the raw one? Like, who sent it to you? Or blah, blah, blah. And we would do our own little investigation, which rightfully we should, I guess, because you don't want to put somebody on blast that didn't do anything.
Because like you said, that's career-ending shit.
Right. And like Andrew Schultz said today on the thing I sent you, he said, like, allegations go so much quicker than investigations.
Right.
So the allegations, like, against Chris D'Elia, immediately, dude, his career's probably ruined, at least for a while. You know, he was dropped by his agent and, like, a lot of other people, and, like, he obviously hasn't been doing his podcast and, like, all this kind of stuff. And he came back with a rebuttal about a week later or whatever it was, but everybody already turned on him, and like one of his best friends, Whitney, turned on him so fucking quick. And I was like, look, like, so that's my point. I just don't know how quick we would react to it. But yeah, I think we would make the right decision at the end of the day, though.
Right. But back to my point about infiltrating Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
You know, I kind of want to, because of, you know, like I said, you hear all these things, but you want to know what shit's really like on. Is it really that corrupt? Are there really like a dozen of Harvey Weinsteins we just don't know about?
Well, that's the cool thing about The Fighter and the Kid, because Brian talks about it. Brian's an actor. He's got like multiple TV shows and been in Hollywood for 20, 30 years.
Okay.
He's not an A-list actor, but he's like, you know, a
He's
C
in
or a
circles.
B.
Right.
Yeah.
He's in circles for sure.
And he knows, and he even mentions like there's a lot of shit, and that's why he's intentionally not gotten in with those groups of people, and he's like, they're all corrupt, they're phony, they're all fakes. And
right,
like,
that's what I feel like.
and that's the cool thing about watching that podcast, is because like he won't call people out specifically, but like if somebody's in the news about something and he's like, dude, fuck that was just a statement, like,
right,
you know, I can guarantee they don't believe that, and like he can tell you the inside of it all. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have the energy to even get into Hollywood like that closely. I would probably do a Brian thing, like be on the, you know, the outside of it, and,
right.
You know,
like strictly business.
right.
Like, look, I'm doing this for a check. I don't give a fuck about any of the other shit. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
Well, last thing I want to say is I just paid off some Jordans, and that's not a good thing.
What's next on your list, sir?
I don't know. So real quick,
I got played on. First of all, I had a pair of shoes. I told you about the Flint 13s, which is a grail of mine, because it's one of the shoes that I wasn't able to cop when I was younger. That's the biggest reason. And it's an OG Jordan that hasn't been released in 12 years, somewhere in there. Had the pre-order, it got canceled. I didn't buy them, by the way, because I just got a new car. I was scared. That's what happens to me. Like, the moment I go and blow money like that, I need it.
Right.
For something.
Well, see, and I'm the bad influence on you, because Steve said, dude, did I tell you about these shoes? And it was the same day. He said, it got canceled today, and like blah, 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 I'm pissed, and it was this amount of money. And I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
And then I looked on StockX,
right,
and I was like, what size are you? And I said, dude, you can get them $10 cheaper on StockX right now.
Right.
And logically, he said, well, no, like, you know, I'm getting a new car. I don't think I need it, and like blah, blah, blah. And my argument to him, which is the absolute definition of an enabler, I said, look, man, you already thought.
Right. It was a sunk cost.
Right. It was we'll say $10. You already saw that $10 out the window.
Right.
You got refunded it. Like, you can keep throwing that $10 out the window. Like, you already accounted for it being gone, and you can still get it.
Right,
it's just a different method.
Right.
And he's like, no, like being smart and shit. And I'm like, dude, just do it.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm a bad person.
Right. No,
But I was like, you already considered that money gone. Like,
I did.
So
I
why
did.
not order them again?
And just act like it's still gone.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
That's a bad philosophy, but
it makes sense though.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, it was definitely I wasn't getting that money back. I fully expected my fucking shoes,
right.
and I still want my fucking shoes. It was just like,
Well, that's my problem. It's like I'm an enabler, and I usually enable myself. So, like today,
at least you're a thinker about it though. I'm the type to be I'm gonna sleep on it, and I wake up at 3 a.m. and go piss, and I lay back in my bed. I pick my phone up, half sleep, and I was like, "Yep, boop."
Right. See, I look up reviews. I look up YouTube, like, what they say about the quality and things like that. And, like, so.
I do that too, but after I buy it.
Right. See, I'm the opposite. But basically, if I'm like, I want these, and I spend a couple hours looking at reviews, like, I pretty much already bought them. But as long as there's nothing, like, crazy. Like, for the Blue the Greats, which is the ones that I just paid off, I watched a couple reviews and they're like, this is cool, and then I watched one and he's like, this is cool, but the quality's not as up to par as I'd like it to be, and I closed out of it and went to a different review. I was like, nah, like,
fuck what you think.
I was like, I don't trust him anyway. Like, but
and he must have got a fake pair because the quality of
Yeah.
them bitches, they're right back there.
Right.
If you want to show the people
the colorful ones that people make fun of me
the
for.
quality, they do.
Yeah, because there's like 9 different colors on these.
So
So beautiful.
they are, and the
So
quality
pretty.
on them are A1. You imagine if that was a high? I know you're not a fan of highs,
Money wise, yeah.
but if that was a high, that would be $1,000 shoe, bro.
Right.
It would be.
But yeah, so I paid those off today. There's an option on StockX where you can make payments on shoes because that's exactly what you should do. And I decided to do that. And today, because that's how I justify things. Let's be real. I usually, like, for this thing's on payments too. I had the money, but I was like, I'm going to be smarter and just pay every month.
Right.
I'm like, that's fucking retarded. But, like, that's how I justify it. I'm like, it's only like $25 a month. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Instead of $600.
Right.
But yeah, so I paid these off today. I get a text that's like, hey, thank you for your payment, because it's on auto pay and stuff. And I reread the message. It said, thank you for paying off your recent purchase. And I literally out loud said, that's bad news. Because that means I can put another pair of shoes on payments. And so I haven't looked at StockX on purpose.
You like colors.
See, I like colors on my feet and like socks. Everything else is black and gray for the most part.
Okay. One that if I was balling, I would definitely get. It's not something that is on my list. It's not high up on my list, let's say. But those grape 5s, man.
Yeah. I'm starting to like 5s a little more. I just don't like
And
the
I heard
tongue.
Okay.
I don't like
It is big and fat, and
Right.
yeah. But you almost have to rock it, the tongue out, like put the tongue on the outside of your
Right.
jeans if you're wearing jeans,
Right.
because it won't look right otherwise. But I did watch a review on those, and they said the quality, that suede on there, it's like Travis Scott level.
But see, I already have a pair of purple shoes now.
Oh, you do? Yes.
So like
2 purple shoes? Probably over.
And I've only worn these ones once.
Yes, right.
And I told you that like last week and you were blown away.
Right, at
'Cause,
my
like,
crib.
They're the ones right here, if you can see on the video behind all my beer. But I wore them the day I got them over to Steve's just to show it to him and stuff, and then I haven't worn them since.
Wow.
And
I don't blame you though. I have shoes in my closet that I bought in March that I haven't worn yet.
And that's usually the case. Like the Travis Scotts, I've only worn those, I don't know, single digits amount of times. I would say 5 or 6 times, and I've had them for like 2 years.
Right.
But those are expensive shoes, and that
Yes.
makes sense. The purple ones, they're not cheap, but they're not like expensive. I have a lot of shoes that are way more expensive, and I still haven't worn them. But I think it's because they're mostly white, and I don't want to get them dirty. But yeah, it's just it's a weird thing about shoes.
The only thing on my radar right now, the Cool Grey 11s are rumored.
I don't think they're releasing them again. I think somebody said they're not releasing them.
Yeah, they
this
keep
year.
going back and forth. It's rumors that they are, and then they're not, and they are, and then they're not. If they do, that's one of the shoes that's on the Grail list with the Flints, because it's one of those ones that I wanted so bad as a kid, wasn't happening.
Right.
So
See, I was thinking about getting some Dunks, and I've shown you some
Yeah.
Dunks recently, and those are more of a casual shoe too.
Right.
So
Right.
now I'm like, payments are
Right.
not good. Like, yeah,
You thinking the off-whites? So all the off-whites are 500 plus, right?
yeah, it's probably too much. Because I'm not dumb, but like,
Yeah.
I mean they're expensive, but I would stick in the court purple range.
I don't know, man. It's something about off-whites. Like any off-white, you know, especially around here,
But
you don't
see-
see them.
If they were an off-white Dunk, I wouldn't wear them as much as I want to.
True.
I want Dunks to wear them somewhat regularly.
Okay, so you want a pair of the casual Dunks?
Right.
Gotcha.
Which those are still expensive. but-
Yeah. I've never tried any of those. I'm really just. I bought one pair of Yeezys. Everything else has been Jordan, bro.
Right.
And
Same.
foam. I love foam posits too, though. So, those take a little bit. I don't know if you ever put on a pair of foams.
Mm-mm.
A lot of people, you know, they're hit and miss for a lot of people. I love them because, you know, the material of them, they literally over time mold to the shape of your foot.
Right.
Yeah. So and then they fit snug, so you don't have the time if you don't want to. You can just kind of let
Nice.
them be. Yeah, and then they don't really have a true tongue like they do, but they don't. It's like a sock liner almost
Right.
with a pull tab on it, which is nice. And you know, I got one. I try to keep a pair of those, but other than that, man, I'm just Jordan all the way. There's a couple. There's a pair of Gary Paytons I want, which I should have grabbed them. It's the ones with the zipper. I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah. I've
Seen those?
Yeah.
There's one of the ones as a kid. Listen, I got a crazy story for you, and then we should probably wrap this shit up.
Okay.
So I'm with my mom. Like, so granted, there's 5 of us kids.
Right.
So as a parent, I definitely understand now way more than I ever did
Right.
that you're not gonna get what you want, because if you get them, that means everybody else has to get what they want too. And
Right. You can't be the only kid with Jordans.
Exactly.
Like,
So the Gary's drop with the zipper. I'm a Gary Payton fan. So he wasn't my favorite player, but I'm definitely a fan of his game.
right.
So we go to finish line, and I remember the price and everything. Them bitches was $109 plus tax, and yo, so they're on the shelf. I'm looking at them, staring at them, damn near, and my mom was like, "So which ones you want?" I was like, "She's like, you want those?" She's like, "Yeah." And then the guy heard the employee. He's like, "Oh yeah, you want to try those on?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What's your size?" I forget at the time, but
Right.
told him my size. And then he went to go get them. My mom didn't say shit, so I'm like, "Yes,"
Right.
or with the A, yes,
Yas.
yes, right?
Yeah. Yas.
But okay, so I'm thinking like, look, it's an option, because if it wasn't,
Right.
she'd have shut that shit down as soon as he was like, "You want to try those on?"
Right.
Why would she let me bring them all the way out and not, you know? So
She's trying to break your heart.
he brings them out.
Did she know the price before then, do you think? Or do you think she just didn't know?
Let me tell you the story.
Okay.
So he brings them all the way out from the back room, all the way out. Sits them all the way down. I sit all the way down. I take my shoe all the way off. I take that shoe out of the box all the way. Put it all the way on my foot. Stepping in them, you know, stand up in them. Like, he's like, "They fit well?" I'm like, "Yeah, these are good."
Right.
Mom said, "You like those?" Like, yeah. Yeah. How much are those? He said, "$109." She said, "Boy, put them shits back."
Nice.
Bro, I was so devastated. I was in my mind, I'm like, "Bitch,
Right.
you let him bring them all the way out and let me literally taste them almost."
Right.
And
Right.
for only you to be like, "Put the bitches back."
Dude, my parents growing up didn't like to spend more than like $40 to $50 on shoes.
I know adults that do that.
Right.
And, you know, I feel like shoes, I don't know. Everybody has their own thing. But I feel like shoes,
For me,
here's the thing.
Like, now, even if it's just a casual shoe, I won't spend less than like 60 to 70. Like, I got to have some type of quality.
right.
Even if it's just a cheap shoe, I know I'm going to
I can't
get
tell you
dirty.
the last time I spent under $100 for a pair of shoes.
Yeah, I mean, me either.
Air
but
Force Ones are like $95.
I don't remember the last time I've spent under 200 for a shoe.
Woo! You in the big leagues, bro.
Well, the last time was the Derek Jeter ones I have.
Okay.
And I think those were the second.
You still got those?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think those were the second ever pair of Jordans I had. And those were like 110, something like that.
Yeah, actually, if it wasn't for Air Force Ones, I probably wouldn't have any under 180.
Right.
But yeah, that's just, some people just refuse to spend that on shoes. Here's my argument about shoes. They're never, some of them, I'm not going to say all of them, most, especially the ones that are, I guess, trendy, are never a bad investment. Because if you take care of them, I keep shoe cleaner, right. I keep repellent. Like any pair of new shoes I get, I spray that shit on twice.
Right.
Because it really works. It really lengthens the life of your shoe. Yeah, I might have dropped $300 on this fucking shoe, but watch how long I have it.
Right.
Watch how long, after 3 years, I can go on eBay and flip these bitches and still only lose $60.
Right. Well, like, that's with these Travis Scotts. Like, I think
you'd make money, even right now, used, which is crazy.
I think I bought them for like $530, which is a fuck ton of money, and I should have never done it. But right now, last I checked, as of like last week, they're going online for $900. Now that's new, but like I said, I've only wore these 5 or 6 times.
Bro,
I mean, I could get $750.
Yes.
And make a $200 profit on a shoe I've had for 2 years.
Yes.
Like,
I guarantee you wait around Christmas time or not Black Friday, tax time.
Right.
February, March, you'd get $750 for those right now. They're used.
I'm holding off until maybe something happens to him.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to say that. I'm not wishing that on him, but
right.
those things are going to skyrocket then.
Yeah. Yeah. Even those brown ones, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Even those have been up,
right.
up constantly. So Travis Scott, something about him. People like him.
Well, hey, man, we're at an hour and a half.
Damn.
Yeah. So that was a good long episode. Anything you want to say as your last kind of duet episode, as you call it?
Hey, I don't know. I said everything I wanted to say last week to the people. Thank you for listening. Like I said, I went into this thing with the mindset of, hey, I don't care if we have 3 listeners or 10,000. Right. I'm not in it for that. It's been fun. I've learned a lot about myself, about what I can do personally. And like I said, if this thing blows to where you'd like it to go, Mr. Adam McElroy, I'm just glad to be a part of it. And I can say that I'm a day one, that's really it. It was really kind of a homie helping a homie on top of me pushing myself to kind of do something outside of myself. So I think, like I said, the stars aligned, because had I not planned on going to Arizona, which I'm not, I probably would have been like, nah, because I knew I didn't want to do it long term. And you said, had I been like, nah, you probably wouldn't have done it yourself
probably
anyways.
Not.
So I guess the stars aligned, and now we got it.
Cool.
Started from the bottom, but we still rising, right?
I got to pee so bad. So, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 49. We got 3 more episodes with Steve, 50, 51, 52. And if you've watched this long, definitely subscribe.
Hit the fucking button. What are you waiting on?
Right.
You got an hour and a half to do it.
Sign up on patreon.com/averageaf podcast. Last I knew, we had like 50 plus bonus pieces of content in the last 5 months.
Yes.
So, I mean, you're getting something at least every week.
Word $5.
Yes.
And you want koozies or fucking lanyards or wristbands, we got all that for you too.
Definitely just let us know. But yeah, follow us everywhere and all that kind of stuff. And, we appreciate you guys, and have a good night.
We out.
Yeah. Yeah.